A priest, a rabbi, and a prostitute walk into a bar. They sit down, the bartender's cutting limes. He says, "Hold on, I gotta go switch out the kegs." He leaves and the priest starts talking. Says, "I had a man come into my church. Tells me, 'Father, I no longer believe in God.' So I explained to him about the fires of hell and eternal damnation. Instills the fear of God back in the man." The rabbi says, "Oh, you Catholics and your fear. I had a similar man come to me. Said, 'Rabbi, I no longer believe in God. But the Torah teaches us to explore and question our faith.' So after some conversation and my wise counsel, he came to his own conclusion that he still believed in God." And they both look at the prostitute and say, "What about you? How would you make a man believe in God?" And the prostitute picks up the knife that the bartender was using, says, "Oh, I just introduced them." And she stabs the rabbi's hand, pinning him to the bar. The priest makes a run for the door. Her tongue extends out of her mouth, wraps around his ankles, and pulls him down to the floor. He digs his fingernails into the hardwoods, but it's of no use. She reels him back in, and her jaw unhinges, and she begins to swallow him whole like some great python. He screams as his feet and legs begin to dissolve in her stomach acids. By the time she gets the priest all the way down, the rabbi has freed himself. He's holding the knife. He says, "Young lady, I don't want to hurt you, but I will if it means saving my life." She lunges towards him. He stabs her in her swollen belly. She looks down and she smiles and pulls the knife deep inside of herself. The knife wound opens up and wraps around the rabbi's hand and begins absorbing him, arm first, then the head, then the rest of the body. And now that she's consumed both the priest and the rabbi, she is bloated and huge, and she rolls over onto her back, and her arm and leg bones begin to crack like glow sticks, and her ligaments and head suck inside of herself. And then the bartender comes back, and he sees this mound of pulsating flesh there at his bars. He walks over to it and he sees the prostitute's belly button right there on top. It begins to split at the seams and peel open, and then out emerges the head of John Taffer. It was another episode of Bar Rescue. "Oh, you had 3 customers here. You didn't take their orders. The line should have been done before you opened. You're back there ding-donging around with the kegs. You should have been taking care of the customers that were at your bar. Not to mention you left a knife out that any psycho could have grabbed and used. You're going to be liable for that. Shut it down!"